I wanted to say a quick thank you for your guys' support of the last video, as the series starting is doing very well. The video has nearly over 10,000 views, and I'm so blessed. I'm glad you guys are really enjoying it. But here we are. We are now going to hop into part 2. So continue to show that support, continue watching the video all the way through, liking it, and even commenting helps me out more than you guys can imagine. Also, some good news for you guys. Roughly within about a week and a half or less, I will be upgrading. And by upgrading, my computer's old. It was built in 2016. The last time I upgraded it to the best parts was in 2018. Well, my computer's starting to get tired. Rendering's taking longer, and it's just not running as it used to. And I brought it to Geek Squad, and they stated that, well, parts do get old, and that's the downside. But that's how everything is. So, Major Dragon 2.0 will be coming out soon, as I'll be getting my computer upgraded to the best that I can, dumping a lot of money into it, and with that, there will be more content. I noticed some people have been asking me, where is the lack of membership videos? And the reason why is because just to make my public videos is all I can do. Because I don't have enough time to actually make a membership video because of how long the rendering and editing actually takes. Computer crashes, I gotta restart from scratch. It's been terrible. I've only been able to get the public videos out and maybe a live stream, very rare. Live streams are not as much of a toll on the PC, that's really just more internet. But making membership videos on top of that and trying to do a commission video is even more difficult. So it's time for me to upgrade, and that is exactly what I'm doing. So be ready, members, and thank you for your continued support, even though there was lack of content, and I'm sorry for that. I wanted to explain it now. But within a week and a half to 2 weeks maximum, my computer will be fully upgraded. This means that I will be able to go back in full swing and give you the content that you guys deserve, and even add more GIFs and more images in the pictures and videos. If you guys have noticed, my recent videos don't really have a lot of GIFs as they used to, and that's actually because it takes such a huge toll on the rendering of my video, it would take too long. So I had to actually back off on GIFs and moving pictures and just have stale images that are already there, such as Goku and more, which I know seems more bland. It's not because of my laziness, it's because of the literal lack of technology that I'm struggling with. But with my computer being upgraded, I'll be able to fix that. But I just want to thank you guys so much for the support. You guys are the absolute best. We're super close to getting to 31K, so make sure to subscribe as well. That'll make my day as well. But anyway, that's enough yip yapping. It's time to give you guys the video that you guys deserve. We last ended with Goku looking up to the sky with Vegeta and the others, seeing the Ginyu Force heading right towards them. The pods would then land as the Ginyu Force then steps out. Now Frieza is not too far behind. He has about a week before he'll show up. Before the Ginyu Force, as he's taking his time, he's going slow, as he doesn't want to waste his time going all the way to Earth. But if Frieza needs to, he can speed up to full speed and get there within a day or two, if he really wants to. When the Ginyu Force does step out, Vegeta's a little worried, but not to a degree. He knows that Kakarot could probably beat them if he really wanted to. Now, if you guys remember, Goku is absurdly strong, in the hundreds of thousands, maybe even higher, and with how broken he's actually become, especially with the magic and more abilities that he could actually use, he was able to overwhelm even Grade 8 Vegeta with ease, showing you just how strong Goku actually is. Now, when the Ginyu Force does arrive, they would then see Goku, and Goku would immediately challenge the Ginyu Force. First, they would actually send out Guldo, and Guldo would try to fight Goku, and he would have his time-skipping ability. Now, Guldo's ability is to where he can hold his breath, and he's actually able to freeze time itself. But he can't hold his breath for too long, which is a super OP ability that Goku actually wouldn't mind learning. He sees this as a huge advantage, as Goku can actually hold his breath for a very long time. He's been shown to hold his breath for minutes and minutes on end, thinking of whole ideas to actually beat Frieza, as we saw before on Namek when he was underwater. So imagine if Goku had that kind of ability. We'll touch on this in a moment. As Goku would then battle Guldo, but he was struggling a little bit because of his breathing time ability. But Goku then figures it out. As soon as Guldo releases a breath, Goku would have then killed Guldo. Now, while Guldo was killed, Goku would then do something that he hasn't done before. Goku wants to learn this ability for himself, and he has taken Baba's magic and enhanced it to make it even better. With this magic, he would then take Guldo's own abilities that he's stolen from him. And to the shock of the Ginyu Force, Goku would then comically hold his breath and time briefly flickered. Goku would then try it again as he's trying to get the hang of it, but now during this time, Raccoon would then step up and he would try to fight Goku. Goku would actually learn how to use it and hold his breath, and with that, time would then freeze. Goku now has one of the most busted abilities. Now, Goku does want to test something else out since he hasn't really done it in a long time. He wants to try it out on them as well. And he thinks that Raccoon's a pretty evil guy. I mean, Raccoon was the same guy who nearly killed a child, pretty much Gohan crippling him, so I think Raccoon's pretty evil. Goku would then hold his hand out and he would then smirk at Raccoon, and Raccoon doesn't know what he's going to do. But then, Goku then zaps him with the Devil Might Beam. The Devil Might Beam would then implode Raccoon from the inside out, and Raccoon would then lay there as he was nearly killed because of the attack. Because Raccoon is not completely evil. The Devil Might Beam damages you depending on how evil you are. Raccoon is very evil, same with the rest of the Ginyu Force. They don't really have no care for anything. But it would really work on something that is evil itself, such as Janemba, maybe even Kid Buu. Something like that would be an instant death. Or something like DBZ Broly would be a near instant death too. And they were shocked to see this, as Goku just laughed and he said he just wanted to try it out. Vegeta was shocked to know that Goku has these kind of techniques. He could have used it on him. Why didn't he do it? But then, we would then have Goku completely annihilate the Ginyu Force. Jason Berta would try to team up to battle Goku. Goku would hold them off pretty easily, and he would have defeated them with ease. Next was Ginyu. Now, Captain Ginyu has a rare ability that we all know called the Change Now technique, where you swap bodies. Do I think that Goku would purposely take someone else's body? No. The reason why is because realistically, if Goku actually did take his technique and swap bodies with somebody, he would have to relearn that body. And I think Goku's happy with the body that he has now. So when Ginyu does try the Change Now technique after injuring himself, he would be surprised to see Goku freezing time by holding his breath, or he could have dodged the attack anyway because he's too fast, and Goku would have killed Ginyu in a single strike. Now, Goku then picks up his scouter, and he can hear Frieza actually talking. And Frieza was asking, "What's the status update? Why aren't you responding?" Goku would actually speak into the scouter. He would tell Frieza to come for him, and that he is waiting. He then smashes the scouter. As then Bulma would then show up, as she would take a few of the scouters for herself, and she has some new stuff for Goku. Now Vegeta was shocked to see this, but he decides to hang around as there's nowhere else to do. And Vegeta says that Frieza, knowing that he's going pretty much almost full speed here, he'll be here within a few days. How are we going to be able to get strong enough to be able to do this? And Goku has an idea. He would then look to Bulma, and he would then ask for her help. As Bulma, remember, she didn't have a lot of help in Goku's role in getting stronger, especially with the technology. As Bulma has tons of food supply. Now, what is this for? Goku explains that there is something called the Room of Spirit and Time. With this, we are able to stay a full year within a day's time. And so, Goku would then take Vegeta with him. And both of them would then go in the Room of Spirit and Time. Since remember, you can't go in and out the Room of Spirit and Time. This is before Dende was here, and Dende actually updated the door and the Dragon Balls. So, Goku and Vegeta would take advantage of it since they are the strongest. Goku would then pause before stepping in, and he would actually ask Piccolo to come along as well, because Piccolo is one of the strongest. Now, mind you as well, Piccolo doesn't need food, he just needs water, and he's okay. And Bulma has plenty of capsules to supply for that. So, much to Popo's request of not doing this, they do it anyway. As then, they would step into the Room of Spirit and Time. The three of them would be trained. Now, Piccolo had to catch up by a decent amount, but Piccolo is really powerful if you really give him... He doesn't really get enough credit as he should. He was able to catch up and be as strong as a Super Saiyan when his normal base power. Just saying. So now, over a day would then pass as everybody's waiting. They would then step out, and they are much stronger. Now, getting into power levels at this point is kind of redundant, but Goku has definitely gotten so much stronger. training in the gravity, and more. With this, Goku was also brought something else with him in the Room of Spirit and Time. See, Goku's thinking of every way to get stronger, and what do you think he brought? This is the gravity machine. Goku, with the help of Bulma gave Goku a brand new gravity machine. It almost looks like a small, and they wanted to see if it would work in the Room of Spirit and Time, and it did. But it's only in a specific area. It only has like a certain zone, but they would use this to then train him. With this, their power levels are easily in the millions or higher. Now, one thing to note too is Piccolo would actually fuse with Kami early. I believe this would be Goku's doing. The reason why is because Goku sees that Kami would be safe for being with Piccolo, considering that Piccolo is so much stronger. And Kami is also aging rapidly. Now, that does mean one thing though. They would need a new Namekian. Well, since Frieza's technically not going to Namek, if you wanted to argue that, oh, well, they can't use the Dragon Balls, Goku has magic. Goku would then transport himself to King Kai's world. He would ask King Kai for help in locating where Namek is. Now, King Kai would be really terrified and says, why am I brought here to Namek? As the Namekians would look at Goku curiously, wonder why he's here. Goku would explain himself and explain that if it's okay, I was wondering if I can borrow one of your Namekians, and he would explain the whole situation. They would then take him to go meet Elder Guru. Now, Elder Guru can read Goku's mind. He sees that Goku does have a noble heart. He's a good person. And he would even unlock Goku's potential. Goku explains that he needs to become as strong as possible to defeat Frieza, and Frieza would most likely come here as well, maybe even misuse the Dragon Balls that they have on Earth. And Elder Guru explains that, well, you can use ours. We have up to 3 wishes that you can actually use. The next thing is Goku would of course ask for his potential to be unlocked. This would increase Goku's power massively, and Goku would not get a new form, but I think he would definitely have his potential unlocked and his pool of power would have been released. And by this point, he's already reaching at least 50 plus million to maybe even 100 million levels of power, which is absurd. The fact that he's in base form and he's that powerful. What about the final wish? Well, I think the wish is going to be what y'all were imagining. Goku would then ask if it's okay, and he would then ask Dende if he can have immortality. Now, this wish is extremely dangerous. If that's the case, Goku would still get immortality. He would even promise the Namekians that if they want, he could always come back and they can remove it. But Elder Guru says no. If an immortal warrior is anyone, it would be you. And Goku's happy to hear that deep down because he needs to be stronger. And imagine he can heal every ability. Goku is so OP. And by this point, Goku would then go back to Earth, bringing Dende alongside with him. Frieza by this point would have arrived, as it's been a few days. Now that Frieza's here, what's going to happen to Frieza? Well, Goku would then step up first, as the Z Fighters will all handle Frieza's men. As Frieza probably brought a few thousand soldiers, they would have been dispatched very quickly, even with Vegeta and Piccolo there. Now, Vegeta does want to fight Frieza first, and he asks Kakarot to do this. He wants to have his revenge, and Goku would actually respect it and actually stay out of Vegeta's way just this one time. Now, Vegeta is very powerful. I would say his power level is roughly 3 to 4 million, which is really impressive. Piccolo's in the similar ballpark. You can even say higher. You can go up to 5 to even 10 if you really want, but Vegeta does not have Super Saiyan, as they've never really seen it. Now, you would then have them battling Frieza, and Vegeta would do much better than he originally did. And Vegeta would then have a little trick up his sleeve that he was trying to learn under the hands of Goku, as Frieza would then go to his final form and he would overwhelm Vegeta. Now, there is one technique that Vegeta did learn from Goku during that year, but he hasn't fully mastered it yet, as his ki control is struggling. Somebody like Piccolo is more of a calm spirit, it's easier for him. Vegeta would then yell out the Kaioken technique. He can bump Kaioken up to ×2 for now, as it's still super early that he's learning about it. But of course, this will bump his power up to twice. He would actually get a surprise hit on Frieza, but we know that Frieza would then get irritated and he would start to overwhelm Vegeta. Now, Piccolo would try to jump in to help Vegeta, but he would get overwhelmed. Piccolo would be able to maybe even go up to ×3 or 4, maybe even 5 if you really want to be nice to Piccolo. And if his power level was roughly 3 to 4 million, even if you want to say 4 million, if you times that by 5, that's only 20 million, which is still impressive. But against Frieza, that's not enough. Frieza would have defeated him. This is when Frieza wants to fight Goku, as Goku's the one who's been really wanting to itch to fight. Goku in his base form is actually comparative to Frieza, and he's actually able to slightly overwhelm Frieza because of Goku's martial arts. And Frieza's not much of a fighter, but he's unpredictable. Now Goku would then note on how Frieza's still holding back, and Frieza's only gone about 50%. He would then bump up to 80, and which will bump his power level up to roughly over 80, 88 to 85 million. He would then keep up with Goku. Now Frieza is damaging Goku, but to Frieza's surprise, when Goku did have a cut alongside of his face, it then healed. And Frieza says, "What is happening? How are your wounds healing instantly? Is it some kind of healing factor of some kind?" As then, Frieza would then continue attacking Goku. Now, one thing to note is the more damage Goku is getting, the stronger he's getting, because every time he heals, he's getting a slight Zenkai. Every single time. It may be really small, but he's gradually growing in power. And Frieza's noting on this. And now Goku's S cells are higher than ever. Shenron originally, who was bumped up by Dende, gave Piccolo a bit of an extra help. Now we're not going to go down this path with having a potential unleashed or a custom form. What Porunga did is it increased Goku's S cells. It could tell that Goku's S cell count was extremely high. This would drastically change the story because Goku here, he would be able to transform into a Super Saiyan using his S cells. And I think it is very plausible. As with this, Goku is now a Super Saiyan, shocking everybody. Frieza's absolutely cooked. Even Goku would allow Frieza to go 100%. But unfortunately for Frieza, even at 100% power, he is absolutely no match for Goku. Goku is 10 to 20 times his strength. Goku would absolutely annihilate Frieza, and there's nothing that Frieza can do. Frieza would have been completely defeated. Goku would still give Frieza one chance to leave, but Frieza would not. Frieza, out of desperation, would try to blow up the planet, but Vegeta called it out, and Goku would stop it in time. As Goku tried to give Frieza one last chance, but he blew it, firing a ki blast, and it would actually kill Frieza, wiping him off the face of the planet and sending him straight to hell. Now, Vegeta was in shock with how strong Kakarot's become, and they have some questions for him, like, what did you wish for? And Goku explained that he had to do what he can to beat Frieza, and he still has some weaknesses that he notes to himself. While true, he has immortality, but immortality does not increase his stamina. While yes, he can recover wounds and fatal attacks, he still runs out of energy. That's not tied to immortality, that's his life, while his energy is still running dry. He would then, over the next few years, we would then have Trunks, who will still arrive from the future timeline. Now, Trunks here is from the original. There's no special things with Trunks. He was confused as to why Frieza never showed up, or where Goku's at, as he doesn't see Goku around, until he would then head towards where Goku is at Chi-Chi's home and see that Goku was there. Trunks would then speak to Goku privately and have a little duel together. He would see just how strong Goku really is, and it's beyond anything he's ever seen. He thinks that he would be able to beat the androids in a single attack if he really wanted. And now, mind you, one thing too, with this, he would still give Goku the heart virus medicine and explains what happens. Well, Goku's technically immortal, so the heart virus wouldn't really affect him. And Goku would probably know this, but he wants to be safe. So he would take the heart virus medicine anyway, and then they have about 3 years time. Now Piccolo overheard this, as Piccolo's just aura farming, and Piccolo can hear things from far away. They would let the Z Fighters and everybody else know that they have 3 years to train before these evil androids arrive. Goku, during this time, would then go to Bulma, as Vegeta went out to space to go on his own journey to try and get stronger, but he will be back, as he does want to have a rematch with Kakarot. He wants to be a Super Saiyan too. I wanna. Now, he would then go to Bulma for a very important role in the show. Bulma originally, if you guys remember, she took Dr. Gero's notes about the androids. It's still early, as Goku would then explain that Bulma, it's time. And Bulma says, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Yes." She says, "Okay." And then Goku would undergo specialized surgery. Bulma, with her specialized tech, would enhance Goku cybernetically. This version of Goku is now different. This also means that Goku has infinite stamina and infinite energy. But past that, that's the most that she could do. And now Goku is practically unbeatable. He has infinite life, he's immortal, he has infinite stamina, means he can fight forever, and he has infinite energy. And the more you fight him, the stronger he gets. So this version of Goku's getting, and he has magic on top of that, like where he can heal himself and more. This version of Goku's so ridiculous. But he would then fight the androids. Now, one thing to note too, that some people are probably going to be asking about the Red Ribbon Army in the androids, Goku made sure to kind of clean out Dr. Gero and to clean out any other androids that are in his way. Well, realistically, if you wanted to argue and say, oh, well, Dr. Gero survived and he's an android, realistically wouldn't really matter, as if Dr. Gero technically was dead, I think the androids would still be there no matter what, as I think other scientists would then pick up on his research, as they remember they still had it. Dr. Gero's not an idiot. He has fail-safes in plan. Like, he also put his brain in a machine as well, but that's for later on. I do think that the androids would still be here. Would they be as advanced as I think they would be? I don't think so. Nor do I think there would realistically be a Cell, but this version of Cell that we know is from a different timeline, so he would still be here. It's just he's not compatible with those two androids. So the saga is really kind of thrown for a loop. Do I think there will be androids? Absolutely. I believe that these androids are still earlier models that the Red Ribbon Army made, because Dr. Gero not really being around much and having his work stolen, / he could be dead. We all know that from the original part, from the first part. The androids are not as advanced, so when the Z Fighters do see them, they kind of get overwhelmed and are beaten pretty easily. Goku never actually succumbs to the heart virus because he's immortal. This also means that when Vegeta does show up, the real battle would actually be Vegeta and Goku, and realistically Cell. Now the thing with Cell is Cell, his first form, he would then note on what's happening, and that there is no androids, no nothing. Cell's a sneaky little thing. Now, Cell would note on how, past this point, he would either be killed by Piccolo, or he would be absorbing people in towns, and he would have been found by Goku or Vegeta, and he would have been killed. Unfortunately for Cell, there's really nothing that he could do. He can't really absorb the androids. There's no androids 17 or 18, sorry, Krillin. There's nothing that Cell could really do. So Cell would have realistically been defeated sooner or later, or he would have just been in hiding for a very long time. But I think Cell would need to absorb people to survive, so realistically, it would have been bad. So unfortunately for Cell, he would have been defeated. Now, the main event would of course be Vegeta and Goku, the two of them battling each other. Vegeta does want to have his rematch against Goku, and it would be intense. The two of them battling together, but unfortunately for Vegeta, even with Super Saiyan, it would be nothing that he can do against Goku. Goku is far too powerful. Goku would have absolutely annihilated Vegeta in their matchup, and it would have been a wrap. There's nothing else that could have been done. Now, for the events of the Buu Saga, what would happen? Well, for the events of the Buu Saga, 7 years would pass pretty normally. Nothing else would happen except Goku's not dead. This means that he would not be in the other world. He can go there whenever he wants, and I still think that he would, just not stay there for the full 7 years. I think he would still learn about the fusion dance. He would still learn about it, and he would still fight Pikkon during that Otherworld tournament. I still think that would happen. Now, past that point, I don't really see anything really else happening. Unfortunately for Majin Buu or the others, Goku would still show up for the World Martial Arts Tournament. They would still meet everybody. Vegeta's a bit different. He kind of accepted what happened, and he accepts that Kakarot is better than him. So, past that, Vegeta doesn't really have that inner turmoil. Now, when they do still meet the Supreme Kai, Goku is interested in training with them. When they do find Babidi's ship, because Gohan would have still transformed, had his energy taken, that would have all still happened. He would have still met Videl and went to the Orange Star High School. That would have happened the same as the Great Saiyan Man. When they do arrive at Babidi's ship, Goku saw how strong Spopovich and Yamu have gotten, similar to how Vegeta saw it, and Babidi, out of desperation, would take over Goku's mind. Goku would actually accept it, and this would make him a lot stronger. But of course, Goku's mental will would overwhelm Babidi's Majin control, and he would actually defeat Babidi and Deborah alongside everyone else. Now, the Supreme Kai is offering to remove it, but Goku says no, I have full control, and this makes me stronger. Goku uses his magic as well to keep the power. Well, let's just say that he just removes that goofy M off his forehead because he doesn't like it. But he still has the power up from Babidi's magic. Now that he figured it out, he can enhance his body. This doesn't mean that Goku's evil. It just brings out who he really is. He's not particularly evil. He's still the Goku that we know. He's able to control it and control this massive power up. Now, Vegeta was angry about it. He wanted the power, but fortunately for Vegeta, it wouldn't have mattered. Now, Majin Buu would have been taken by the Supreme Kai and Kibito, and they would have left, but Goku would stop the Supreme Kai and say, train me, and he would reluctantly agree, bringing Gohan along as well. They would train with the Z-Sword, unfortunately breaking the Z Sword, and then we would have Goku meeting the Elder Kai. The Elder Kai would actually offer to unlock Goku's latent potential alongside with Gohan's. And with that, Goku would gain even more power, maybe even gaining a potential unleashed form and training with the Kais. Now, we could jump into Dragon Ball Daima, which is right after the Dragon Ball Saga, but we'll get to that one in the finale. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. I know I jumped around the Android Saga, Cell Saga, and Buu Saga a little bit roughly in the end. It's just because it's a bit confusing how some stuff would play out, but realistically, Goku's just too OP now. His immortality, his infinite stamina, he's just OP. There's not really anything that can touch him during these sagas. The only person who could really push Goku will be Lord Beerus later on. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Peace.